nobody wins when the family feels.
Y'all waiting on to touch him. Y'all waiting now on even touch him. Y'all waiting now on to touch him. I'm watching y'all. I'm watching y'all. I'm watching all of y'all. I'm watching all of y'all.
They not even helping him. They just got him on the floor. Y'all gonna let him die. Help him.
We need a bus at 79 Alexander Avenue. We need a bus at 79 Alexander Avenue. 79 Alexander K? 79 Alexander, Bronx, New York, at the parole office. One individual has been shot. Please come now. Okay, 79 Alexander, what borough is that, K? What borough are you in? Bronx, New York, Bronx, New York, Bronx, New York. Please come. Somebody has been shot. Okay.
Walking the spot with my amigos like I'm trying to lick me a free code. On my bully, I feel like I'm Debo. Drill after drill, trying to get me a mill. Like Taliban, Drilly, this shit OD. Go on the scooter, go on feet. Shout out to Jullies, they know how we get. If I get booked, don't say me. Bang the bang, niggas be dissing for clout and the fame. Get you some money, that's the pain.
Have me in and let me tell my story.
No doubt, no doubt. First, you know, we got to start it off. It's only right to start it off like this. You know, welcome home.
Hey, good looking.
No doubt, no doubt. How does it feel to be back in the public and all that?
It feel regular, like for me, like it's not like we've been in jail all like forever.
Yeah.
Regular. It feel good though. It feel good to be back in the streets and shit, moving around.
Yeah.
Free.
Gotcha.
Fam, in this video, we got another example of what not to do. And I'm gonna start saying that a little more often. Hopefully it'll start clicking for the ones that take a little longer than others to get it through their heads, man. Some of these actions ain't no good outcome in them, no way, shape, or form. You putting your life on the line for nothing. Today we talk about a young man who believed in the drill culture. That was his MO growing up. That was his era. A drill rapper, a young man who just came home after doing 4 years behind bars, which we'll later discuss after being caught up in an indictment with his crew. But instead of him learning from it, he was still on that. And we all know what come with that. He went viral not long ago after claiming he fought a well-known rapper out of New York, which we'll later discuss as well. But now, after recently being released from a RICO, reports coming out within the last 24 hours of me doing this video that this man was shot in the head alongside footage floating around on social media. And check this out, fam. He was gunned down right in front of his parole office. And we all know, if somebody wants your location and you got any run-ins with the law, man, it's easy. It's 2 + 2 = 4. Now you'll later hear that this man parole officer not only saw what took place, but also the one who called 911. Now, despite what we briefly just talked about, what we're gonna later elaborate on in this video, this was somebody who was known for dissing the dead in his music. And the more I do these stories, fam, I gotta be real, the harder it become to feel sympathy when you keep putting that same energy back out. But still, nonetheless, we're gonna pay our respects, talk about the details, his alleged gang, where he from, and how everything led to this tragic ending. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Now, before we get too deep into this story, let's talk about where this young man from. Uptown Bronx, Gunhill Road. Anybody familiar with that side of the city? You know, it's a real environment. Tight blocks, long history, and generations tied to the same neighborhood. Gunhill, White Plains. That whole side been active for decades. You see the G side area? That's short for Gunhill side. It got its own identity. A lot of them grew up together, went to the same schools, and later fell under the same flag, the Drilly Gang, which is a subset of the Bloods. The Billyz trace back to the mid-2000s in New York prison system and in the streets. Originally, a Harlem-based movement that spread across the 5 boroughs. They mixed that traditional blood mentality with New York culture, loyalty, retaliation, and respect. In the Bronx, the Drilly Gang presence is strong. You hear it in the music, you saw it in videos. They're connected to other bloods like Sex Money Murder, 9 Trey, Mac Ballers, but they operate under their own rules. It's more of a young generation movement. Drill rappers, neighborhood soldiers, and people trying to claim their own identity under that flag. Now, when it came to the G side, they became known not just for the street activity, but also for the way the new generation blended the drill sound with that old New York aggression. But it's that mix of music and the street life that make it dangerous. Once that drill energy hit real beef, it's not lyrics anymore. anymore. It's a lifestyle. And for a lot of these young men, once you jump into that lane, ain't no clean exit. Now coming out that same energy, out the Gunhill G-side section, was a young man by the name of John Martinez, known in the streets and online as Suave Drilly. Connecting himself with Drilly Gang, he was known to diss mainly Crips. He mainly talked about betrayal, retaliation, and staying alert in his own hood and his music. In tracks like Wit Da Billyz, a collab with the local G-side members that doubled as both a street anthem and a hood roll call, heavily referencing Uptown ties to the Drilly Gang. And in tracks like For the Set, one of the earlier tracks recorded before his 2022 indictment, which we'll later discuss, known for its heavy bass, aggressive delivery, and coded messages about loyalty and fallen members. Then he had tracks like No Passes, dropped while he was incarcerated, reportedly recorded during a brief release period. Fans called it one of his most emotional songs.
Like nigga, you been riding. The nigga you told him my blunt, damn. Still looking for a nigga named Jesse. Feet twist up his fingers, it's finna get messy. I'm with the trends, we get daddy.
Then it was Uptown Baby. It was a freestyle. The track that put him on the Bronx drill blogs, gaining views fast due to his viral bars, dissing rivals, and referencing a past altercation with the New York drill rapper, K-Flop.
Had to carry the bricks, y'all heard what I did when I ran in the sticks. I know they hate me, gotta move right, his lady a demon, that's my...
His catalog wasn't huge, but it was consistent with authentic street perspective people crave from drill artists. Most of his visuals were shot in his own neighborhood, corner stores, rooftops, and stairwells off Gunhill, and while repping G-side and his Billy ties. And it's crazy because if you listen close, you can hear the pain, the loyalty, and the paranoia, all layered under the tough energy. It's the sound of someone trying to balance fame and the streets, knowing deep down one usually cancels out the other. Now before we get into what happened after his release, let's rewind back to 2022, the year everything really shifted for Suave Drilly and the G-side movement. Back then, the Bronx was under a microscope. The NYPD and the Bronx DA had already launched multiple indictments targeting drill associate sets, and the Drilly Gang / G-side circle was no exception. Suave was one of several young men named in that suite, accused of conspiracy and weapons-related offenses tied to street activity around the Gunhill section. According to court documents and public records, prosecutors claim that the group operated like a tight-knit network, linking music, image, and alleged crimes together as one narrative. And like so many other drill artists before him, Suave's lyrics were cited as evidence, part of the case used to show affiliation and motive.
20 alleged members of the G-side Drilly Gang, a subset of the Bloods' sex, money, murder. Between September 2018 and March of this year, these defendants allegedly engaged in 32 acts of violence, including murder and attempted murder, with the most recent being just a few weeks ago. The defendants allegedly committed multiple shootings, some in broad daylight, in busy areas, killing 2 people and injuring innocent bystanders. They terrorized residents of the Fordham, Bedford Park neighborhoods who were forced to run for their lives as the bullets flew through the air. The defendants, who are prominent in the drill rap scene, allegedly often boasted about the violence that they or their associates executed. It was wantonless, it was senseless violence. It was beefs and slights and disrespects that all drove some of these incidents.
At the time he was already incarcerated. He sat down for a while, 4 years total. Some of that time from previous cases. The rest after the 2022 indictment. Inside, Suave reportedly took a plea deal, avoiding a longer sentence, but still carrying the label of being part of that indictment. For a lot of people around him, that movement was supposed to be the reset, the point where he focused and put the streets behind him, focusing on his life, and if he thought he was successful enough, his music. But when he came home, he did an interview with PP Hams. I'll leave the link in the bio.
This has been ongoing, like 2018 I got booked. For a gun charge.
Okay.
I guess released on R&R, inoperable firearm. I guess released. I bail out. I mean, I didn't even bail out. I was about to bail out, then I get released. So then I stayed in town for like a year. I guess booked February 25th, 2019.
Yeah.
I guess booked for attempt murder. I bails out. Then I stayed in the town I bailed out March. It took me like a month to bail out. I came back to jail. When was it? I want to say April.
Okay.
No, I want to say May. It was May.
Okay.
I got booked for some shit at the courthouse. Some dumb shit.
Yeah.
I got into it and shit. So I got booked at the courthouse. I bailed out for that. Then I get booked again, July 4th, 2019. I get booked for reckless endangerment.
Yeah.
I bails out. They give me another bail. I bail out again. So that I bail out 3 times by then.
Yeah. How much are all these bails? I know the bread is just adding up at this point, right? Like.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, the first one was 100K.
Yeah.
For the 10% of that is 10K.
10K. Yeah.
Then the second one was like 50K. 10% of that is 5K.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last one on July 4th was like 2,500. Like
Okay.
2,500.
Okay.
I built out and shit. So I stay in the town. From July 4th, 2019, all the way to September 2nd, 2020. I get booked again. So throughout that whole shit, I'm fake going back and forth to court.
Yeah.
Mad shit going on. So I get booked September 2nd, 2020. I get stopped in a car, an illegal stop and frisk. It was illegal, but I still got arrested anyways, and then I ain't been home since.
Wow.
While I was incarcerated, 2022, they dropped an indictment on us.
Yeah.
So it gave me new charges on top of the charges I already had.
Gotcha.
So I was fighting like 6 charges, 6 different charges plus an indictment, including the 6 charges. So for me, when they first offered me, how much was it? They first offered me 15. It was 15 to 25 if I blow the conspiracy in the first.
Yeah.
So time going on, 2021, town going crazy, 2022, town going crazy, we still locked up. Then 2022 they offered me, I would go to court one day, they offered me 10. They go down from 15 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, can't take that.
Got you.
So,
what made you say no to that? Because some people might be like, yo, if I got like 6 charges, let me just take this and count my blessings. What made you say no and fight it out?
Sometimes it's like, you gotta let them give you that time. Like, you can't just give up that easy.
Gotcha.
For me, it's all a mind game and a weighing game.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Okay.
So I'm like, nah. So a whole year goes by. Courts is moving slow. Remember the pandemic, all that. So the whole time, we're not even going to court like that. We going to court like every month, every other 2 months, shit like that, weird shit. So where was that? Long story short, 2023 comes, a whole year later. I goes to court. They try to offer me 8 now. 8 for all my charges.
Yeah.
I'm still like, nah. Like, I'm ready to go to trial at this moment. I'm like, nah, 8, that's fake mad long. Like,
yeah.
I'm starting to think about the town. I can't miss out 8 years. I can't miss 10 years. I can't miss 15 years. I can't do none of that shit. I'm ready to go to trial. For me, I got, by this is the 3rd year, so 2023, I got this is my 4th lawyer and shit, so
damn.
I'm just keep getting lawyers. I keep hearing high numbers. I'm getting a new lawyer. They keep dropping. So for me, but they not where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
So at that moment when I dubbed the 8, when I'm like, nah, I don't want no 8 years.
Yeah.
They like, all right. So this is my 2nd time going to court in 2023. I went to court I want to say April.
Yeah.
My lawyer listen. They're offering 4 and 5 post release. So I'm in my head I already got 3.5 in. I might as well take that.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing was I didn't want to implicate nobody, so this is my first time locked up. I'm asking questions listen, if I take a plea deal to my charges on the indictment, how does it, do I implicate anybody? And my lawyer let me know, nah, There's no way you can implicate nobody. You're taking responsibility for your charges on the indictment. I mean,
Gotcha.
so I ended up taking a couple charges and shit.
Gotcha. What did they have you plead out to?
I plead out to assault in the second for the attempt. I pled out to some drug charges.
Yeah.
And on the indictment, I ended up taking conspiracy in the second.
Gotcha.
In the second.
Once again, shout out to PP Helms. That interview was done in early 2024. Fast forward to 2025. As you just heard, Suave is still on probation. With that is his annual drug testing. And on Wednesday, October 15, 2025, at around 5:50 p.m., Suave was leaving his parole office, located on the 79 block of Alexander Avenue in the Mohaven section. He had recently did his drug screening, but shortly after, a radio call transmission would come in of a panicked parole officer who was heard fighting back crowds on the street as she was frantic, asking for ambulance after a shooting. A police dispatch struggled to make sense of it all. Who shot who, the dispatcher said. A parolee was shot. Please send someone to 79 Alexander Avenue. Minutes earlier, she got a call that police saw a group of men approaching the office in ski masks. She instantly knew something wasn't right. On the ground was 27-year-old Suave, as mentioned, John Martinez. May he rest in peace and loving condolences to his family.
We need a bus at 79 Alexander Avenue. We need a bus at 79 Alexander Avenue. 79 Alexander, K? 79 Alexander, at the parole office. One individual has been shot. Please come now. Okay, 79 Alexander, what borough is that, K? What borough are you in? New York, Bronx, New York, Bronx, New York. Please come. Somebody has been shot. Okay. Cat 1752, compound of the 40 at 79 Alexander Avenue. Full lieutenant was notified in regards to a parole officer says that someone is shot at the location. Two got shots fired at 35 Bruckner and Bruckner at Alexander. Someone is shot at a parole officer, Karen? Okay, help is on the way. Please, the parole officer, Karen. Now. 10-4, are you a parole officer, Karen? I am. Badge number 0167. Isaac. Parole officer Isaac, badge number 167. Please send a bus now. One individual has been shot. All right, 79 Alexander Ave, East 132. And Brooklyn, is that correct? An individual has been shot. Please send somebody now. Affirmative, K. Who shot this individual, K? Who was shot? Sir, back off. Back off. Who was shot, K? Parole was shot. A parolee. Parole was shot. Please send someone to 79 Alexander. Help is on the way, ma'am. Help is on the way, K. You radio shot 313. Parole 167. Shot spotter 116-13890 Springfield. 4-row unconfirmed person shot 79 Alexander Avenue. 4-row 1379 Alexander Avenue, 13 over division. Parole officer states someone is shot at the location. That's the 10-5 location? We got 10-13. That's the 10-5 location for the 13. 167 helps on the way. 79 Alexander, Borough of the Bronx, East 132 in Bruckner. Parole 167 said one parolee shot another, okay? All right, let's get you this rolling. All right, EMS is notified. Multiple calls coming in for this location. The 4 in route, Carrie. Thank you, PD reported. 10-5, that Carrie? 10-5, NYPD just arrived. All right, 10-4, Carrie. Yes, NYPD on the site. All right, 10-4, okay. Need a bus here as soon as possible. 10-4, okay. Where is he shot at? Shot in his back and on his lower extremity. All right, 10-4. Is the perp still on scene, Kay? Parole to base, parole to base, parole go. We need a bus to 79 Alexander. Can I get an ETA on that bus to 79 Alexander? I don't have an ETA, K. I don't have an ETA. Copy. Parole supervisor on the air? Parole on the air. Is the EMS on scene? EMS has arrived. Thank you. Okay, 10-4. I'm just confirming it's 2 civilians, no parole involved, correct? Parole involved. 1 civilian has been shot. 10-4. Was that by parole? No, that was by another individual. 10-4, okay. Parole involved, but no shots fired at or by parole. This is by 2 civilians, correct? Right. An individual, 1 civilian shot another parolee. No parole officers fired any shots. No parole officer has been shot. 10-4, $1,800. Thanks for advising. Thank you. 10-4. What's your numbers, Kay? 16 parole. 10-5, that's 8 again? 167 parole. 10-4, thank you.
12, Lieutenant Red.
11, Lieutenant.
11, Lieutenant, 75 Washington, Kingsbridge on the plane, David.
You came in 2x2, okay?
11, Lieutenant, 75 Washington, Kingsbridge on the plane, David.
10-4, all units stand by. Read out 11-1.
We begin tonight with a developing story out of the Bronx, where a search is now on for a gunman who shot and killed a man just moments after he left a meeting with his parole officer. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Neidinger live on the scene in Mott Haven tonight. Josh?
And Mike, the NYPD crime scene unit will be working well into the night, gathering evidence here on the scene of this apparent execution of a 27-year-old man in the late afternoon. Detectives now trying to figure out why. With the scene tonight under control, the work of the crime scene unit seemed eerily calm compared to the chaos here hours earlier. In radio transmissions, a panicked parole officer was fighting back crowds on the street as she frantically called for an ambulance after a shooting, and a police dispatcher struggled to make sense of it all.
Who was shot? Back off! Back off! Who was shot? Parole was shot. A parolee. A parolee was shot. Please send someone to 79 Help is on the way, ma'am. Help is on the way.
People were getting close, and they were like, back up, with their guns out.
It all unfolded right in front of Clarissa Aliedo after the shooting of a 27-year-old man while he left a scheduled meeting with his parole officer at a state parole office here in Mott Haven. Minutes earlier, she'd already called police when she saw a group of men approaching the office and just knew something wasn't right.
I saw masks, ski mask, coverings. And I heard like, move, yo. When you hear that, you know the activity, you know what's going to happen.
Cops say the men made a beeline for the parolee, shooting him multiple times. He died at the hospital. It happened in the middle of the recently gentrified Mott Haven section of the South Bronx, where neighbors say the parole office has been a magnet for crime.
We've been talking with the state about getting the parole. They have a 10-year lease here, about getting this parole office relocated. People know when a releasee is going to see their parole officer, right? And that's the time that they try to maximize and attack. And then the people around are the people who are caught, unfortunately, in the mix.
And we did ask the office, the state office that controls the parole system, for comment on those comments about its office here in the South Bronx, but it referred all calls to the NYPD, which is in the middle of investigating this homicide. The victim in this case has not been publicly identified. Police are right now looking for 3 people who fled the scene. I'm live in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx tonight. Josh Einiger, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Now, in his music, he was known to diss a well-known 16-year-old named Nazi, Rayway, a young dad and an alleged crip. He was shot and killed by a young man identified as Blitz. And from that day on, even the younger generation, now there's blood on their hands. And the beef will be for life. At the end of the day, fam, stories like this hit the same every time. Another young man from the Bronx, talented, full of potential, but trapped in a cycle that don't let too many make it out. You can hear to his lyrics, the pain, the pride, the survival. But somewhere along the way, the streets became louder than the message. And this is why I keep saying it. Some things don't got no good outcome, no matter how you look at it. I guess it's easy to say, free the guys and long live the guys. But what's harder is breaking the pattern so we stop losing so many in the first place. Rest in peace, John Martinez, better known as Suave Drilly. May his story be a reminder and not a trend. So to the youth watching, remember, you ain't gotta crash out to prove your loyalty. And you don't gotta be the next name on a t-shirt to be respected. The real ones find a way to live, grow, and make it out. With that being said, love and prayers to everyone who was affected by this story. This was the story of a local rapper in New York who was gunned down only moments after leaving his parole office, taking a drug test. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.